Hello everybody, I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live with today's market wrap-up, and what a great week for trading if you like volatility. For those who don't, there were some good spots to enter, but for those of you who like to actively day trade up and down, certainly was a lot of good movement. But in the end, here you can see the S&P Spider. This is a 30-minute chart, and so although, yes, we had this really heavy selling going in, you can see this inside 30 on the lows, and then big rally back yesterday and today. However, in the grander scheme of things, you can still see lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And if we go to a 60, you're going to see it like this. I know I got a lot of lines on my chart, but in general, you can see from this gap here, and these highs here, and this high here, and today, you're going to line it up like these. And so still would need to put in some sort of higher high. We had a nice rebound today. But another thing that was interesting here is that at the end of last week and most of the beginning of this week, a lot of stocks were trading similar to the futures. When you saw the market going up, everything was going up. You saw the market going down, everything was going down. It seemed like a lot of people just getting out of the way, letting the futures dictate. And then today, as of after we got this rally, today, we finally saw a little uncoupling as far as sector rotation on where money's going in, where money's going out, and that's going to be important going forward. So for the SPY, if we take a look at the weekly chart here, you can see we came in and basically closed slightly positive on the week, but all in all, a doji, which really chopped them up, but good, upside and downside, now right here in the middle. So really want to see what side of this week we can take out first. There's quite a range there, but that's going to be important. You can see it's still holding a major uptrend in here, but if we take that out, then we got issues. If we go back up here, we're within spitting distance of the highs, especially in certain places I'm going to get to in just a second. If you take a look at the IWM, a lot of hullabaloo about going on in here, and talking about the rally back, and basically still red and doji on the week. Still hasn't made a decision. Yeah, did we see some selling? We sure did. Did we see rally? Sure. In general, doing nothing and still watching a lot of that big monthly support along in here to see how it acts out of that. If you look at the 60 here, once again, you're going to see that series here, and still, even with this rally back, not making a significant higher high as of yet. So that's definitely on the radar for next week to see, can we make any significant higher highs, or we just roll back down if this two-day rally was back and fill. If you take a look at QQQ, same deal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still can't get out the door. So we want to keep an eye on that. And what's going to have probably a nice impact on the Qs is Apple. And if you take a look at Apple here, Apple goes as an inside weak equilibrium, so really you want to see that could have a big indication on which way these Qs are going to go. Should Apple take out the inside weak to the upside and take a shot at the upper end of the range, or take a little dumper and take that out and try and go towards the lows? If we take a look at, what I said, there's sector rotation, certainly weighing on the averages is the energies, and you look at XLE, and the XLE really taking a bath here, but going inside day today. And so oftentimes that can be somewhat of an exhaustion of selling, and we can see if we can start off the new week and take that to the upside. You look at the OIH, same thing there, inside day. So the commodities, really a tough sector here so far this few days of the quarter. If you look at XME and inside day, and all this stuff really falling apart. Is CLF trying to join the falling apart of death party with all the coals, and so the commodity realm really weighing on stuff there. So really want to see if there's any type of consolidation in the energies, but they're all looking very similar. A lot of inside days there going out near the lows, and if you look at the things that have really been getting crushed for a long time, still going rig and diamond offshore, really just accelerating down into the lows and having all sorts of problems there. So we'll watch those inside days to start on Monday to see if there's any stabilization in, at least in the oils. As far as the XME, it's a big problem. And you look at gold, and you take a look at gold, all sorts of problems here coming into, once again, what could be considered support of this. But if it breaks out, you can see this descending here. Down, sideways, measured move would be really brutal there for the gold. Often doesn't go as clean as you'd hope, but certainly want to be aware of those levels and how that's looking there. If there's any bright spots, like I said, one of the good things is we saw strength in certain places and weakness in certain places, albeit the S&P Spider up over $2. If you take a look at something like Goldman Sachs, Goldman Sachs is going towards the recent highs right here. So not a real big problem right there. It's also going outside weak here like this here to try and do that towards the high. So watching stock by stock, sector by sector is going to be increasingly important here, especially if you take a look at the IBB, which is also going to have a lot of stuff with the Qs. This thing you can see right here holds its support, hammer on the week, and if it takes that out, that's new all-time highs for the IBB right here. Upper level here, tries this as hard as they could hit it. Now they bring it in here. Want to see if it can get through to that. How does it get out of here? Does it take these out or does it take that out? And if it takes that out, new highs. And if the big winner here, Alexion, and you can see this Alexion goes up, sideways measured move today, which also triggered an inside month and up. That's real nice. And if you take a look going forward next week, and you see Celgene near the highs and going as an inside week here, still just hanging around the highs. Let's see if this was the aberration down. Hold, hold, hold. Now let's give her another shot to the upside. You can also look at MDVN here, and that's an inside week still near the all-time high. So watching sector by sector is going to be very important. We're also keeping an eye on stuff like TKMR with the Ebola. News is still all over the place, and you can see a nice not real clean, but a measured move. Up, sideways, tried to go shooting star back in, test this range, bam, right back up, trying to take a shot at that stuff. All momentum in there right now, and usually a lot news-driven, but certainly to keep an eye on that. We like to keep on anything that's on the move. So that being said, SPY goes doji on the week. We want to see which side of the weekly range we can take out. We want to look internally to see which sectors are doing it. Is there any stabilization in the energies? What rotation are we seeing day by day? The commodities or the financials or the IBB? Who is moving the market or who's going every which way? And that's going to do it, and especially Apple as a proxy for some of the Qs is with the IBB. So that's what we'll be looking at. It was a great week to trade. A happy holiday to all my Jewish friends out there. I'm Rob Smith, the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live with this week's market wrap-up. Everybody have a great weekend and see you on Monday.